thing on birthright citizenship, and that kind of intrigues me, about what's your opinion on it? I mean, how do you feel about the whole thing? Do you think that we should follow what the original writers of the 14th Amendment said, or do you think we should blow out everything and allow whoever wants to become free citizen in the United States without any legal ramifications about it? That's kind of your decision. Well, I mean, it's going to be the U.S. Supreme decision today when they figure it out, when they take their vote. I mean, even though they'll have arguments, it could be 6 months down the road for they actually make a final legal decision on it. But I figured I'd get the people's opinion on it, how they feel about, birthright citizenships. Do we think that we should allow two immigrants without legal statute to come here and just have a child and say, "Oh, I'm an American now," or you think that we should go by what the original text says? You know, there's a supreme clause that they can't. Are we going to fight it, or are we going to allow things to keep going bad? So I know somebody's probably going to say, "You're a bigot, you're a racist." Nah, I'm just asking questions. Don't take everything so personally. It's not that hard of a understanding, But I figure we'll get some few choice people on here and have their opinion on the matter, because that's what makes us a great nation. Is we can all have our opinions on something, have discussions about something, find a happy medium, or sometimes just have a loud, horrible argument. But I was just gonna. I'm still waiting for them to launch that silly rocket to the moon, but apparently all they're going to do is talk all day long while that rocket sits there and plays on the launch pad. Like, come on, you're taking my whole day away about the excitement of launching rockets, But which I still don't know why we're still using rocketry power. I mean, because it's bad. Why don't we put zip cannons? I mean, we could throw a rocket ship a hell of a lot faster with magnetic zip cannons than we can. What do you do? And I think it'd be a lot cheaper and less better for the environment. Stop wasting so much. Hey, America, welcome back. We're having a discussion on birthright citizenship. Just for anybody joining the chat and their opinion on it. I have my opinions on it, but I'd like to hear your opinions on the matter. Hey, Reno, how you doing? I think I said that right, but I mean, what's your guys' opinion on birthright citizenship? How do you feel about it? What's your take on the whole situation? Do you think we should keep allowing people to come in and have all the children in the world they want, or you think we should kind of put a stipulation to it? I mean, that's just where we're at in life, So let me know in the chat how you feel about it. Talk about it. Discuss it. Ask questions. Kind of get a peace of mind on the matter, because I think that's how the world should work. I mean, I think everybody should get an opinion on something. Everybody should be able to have their thoughts on the matter of anything that happens in their country. Even if you're not American, I'd like to hear your opinion, because so many countries don't have birthright citizenship laws. So I mean, your opinion matters on it too. I mean, So, but what do you do? It's kind of where we're at in life. You kind of gotta. Well, I hope so, American Ben. I mean, you got the big American flag going on. If you're not American, we're going to have some conversations about that flag, my friend. I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. You can fly whatever flag you want to fly. I guess. I mean, no, just busting your balls, man. Just busting your balls. But what's your opinion on the matter, Ben? What do you think? What's your opinion on birthright citizenship? Do you think that we should go by the original writings of the clause of 1865, or that you can't have any foreign power connected to you to become a citizen? Or do you think we should just allow people to come willy-nilly and into America and just pop out babies and say they're Americans? I mean, even Reno, I mean, even under the 14th Amendment clause, he didn't even become a U.S. citizen under the 14th Amendment clause when it was written. So, we have a long-standing history of what we did and what we don't do, but now in the 21st century, even in the 20th century, we just kind of allowed everything to get foobarred, Took a lot of court ruling and stuff like that to actually get to where we are today. So that's why we have a U.S. Supreme Court to make these constitutional decisions. But I kind of, I figured I'd get the chat going and see what their opinion on it. I mean, if you're for birthright citizenship or if you're against birthright citizenship. So I figured somewhere in the mix, we got to find people that. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Ben. It's taken me a lot of years to grow this patchy booger. I always wanted it really long, though. I always wanted like one of those big Viking beards. Yeah, it gets about 3 inches, and that's about where my beard stops. I'll never have a long, cool, manly Viking beard, but how cool would that be, though? I'd like a long man Viking beard, roar, then I could braid it, like. I've even tried all those special, they have that growth package where, that whole beard treatment thing where you roll it and oil it, and it didn't do me any positives on my beard. But everybody, welcome in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And give your opinion on how you feel about birthright citizenship, because we're trying to get a discussion with the chat going on your personal opinions on the matter, and I'd like to discuss it. If you wouldn't mind to stay around and put in your 2 cents on the matter, we'll see where it goes, But hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion on the matter, So you're part Swedish. I'm sure you got a good beard then. My son got a good beard. Well, it's kind of like a big bird's nest because he doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't brush it out or anything. He just lets it. So he just has this big. I mean, it's probably about 10 inches, but it curls into itself. So it's like a big bird's nest. I'm surprised he don't wake up with birds in it. Like that Disney character. It's gotta come to me. Not Pat Boone. Not the Paul Bunyan guy, but oh man, it's gonna drive me nuts. Bye, G Money. Good for you to come. Nice to see you. Come back when you can stay longer. But I mean, I've always thought, and I'm going to kind of go back to my original statement here, but like birthright citizenship and stuff, I'm kind of to the point where if one of your parents is an American citizen or applying for citizenship, and you're born at the time, then yeah, I'll go with the child should get birthright citizenship. But I think if you have 2 people that have violated our immigration laws, no. I'm just that's just on my point of opinion on it. I mean, there should be a stipulation of allowment to, because every country in the world has stipulations on how you can, even if you're born there, you're not automatically a citizen, or you'll get dual citizenship because you're stuck to your parents' primary country, and then when you turn of age, you could go, because it's not automatic. You actually have to apply for it. Like my cousin, he's a German citizen and an American citizen. He's never gone to Germany, though, and actually applied for his German citizenship. So he's still technically just an American. But he's entitled to a dual citizenship because he was born in Germany on an American military base. And I think here in America, I think we should kind of follow that same lead. Is if your parents are from Germany, Russia, Mexico, Canada, and you're born here, then yes, I think that you should be allowed to have a dual citizenship over time. When you turn of age, you can come and apply for your American citizenship or dual citizenship. But I don't think I don't think your parents should be able to grant stay because you were born in a certain country. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, that's why we're having this discussion, to see what you guys think. I mean, do you think differently, or that's just my thoughts on the matter. That and it's not a hate thing or anything like that. It's more like it's a logical thinking point. Critical. Why should we give so much benefits when nobody else does? Why are we always going to be the most gracious country when everybody apparently hates us? Which is really weird to me. I mean, but so that's just my thoughts on the matter. That we should have a superior clause to the matter, that it should be either or, and not just a 100% grantment. Because You got to stop giving out so many just guarantees and freebies and not enforcing your laws, because a country without laws is not a country. It's just an imaginary place that everybody wants to be. Because and then that just causes chaos and anarchy if you can't enforce your laws, and then you got so many people that don't want to allow you to enforce your laws, and that causes more chaos and more anarchy, and well, we got to find a happy medium somewhere eventually. Probably not today, probably not tomorrow, maybe 50 to 100 years. We'll probably, after we're all dead and gone, we'll probably get a more intellectual society. Hey, Eric, what's going on, man? We're having birthright citizen conversation. If you want to join in, put your 2 cents into the matter to kind of get the conversation going. Just kind of hear rambling on the matter, because I have my personal opinions, but I kind of want to hear everybody else's personal opinion on the matter and how they feel. But I did one on I did a video on the lunar mission coming up, and nobody seemed to want to talk about the moon. I guess the moon's not exciting anymore to people. I'm still cool about space travel. I think space travel is awesome, but I'm still a big kid at heart. I mean, it is and it isn't. I mean, it's just kind of it's where the law stipulates. I mean, do we need to change the laws, or do we just need to go by the original subtext of what the original writers wrote it on and how it should be? So I think mainly we should just start enforcing laws, because I think that's where we've failed as a society, is that we have hundreds of thousands of laws on the books, but for some reason we no longer feel the need to enforce such laws, and so we just and sometimes the law is good and sometimes the law is bad. But if the law is bad, then we should segregate. We should just remove the law and get rid of it, instead of just leaving it on the books for it to, but because like I was saying earlier about my cousin, he holds dual citizenship, but he technically doesn't, though, because he's never gone to Germany and reinstated his German citizenship. So he's just basically an American. And I think the same way for any other immigrant that comes to America. Even if you have a kid here, your kid should get granted his dual citizenship, but it shouldn't be, they should be able to come back when they're of legal age, and reapply for their, be granted their dual citizenship. Then they personally, them themselves are entitled to American benefits, not the parents. Because unless over time the parents decide that they want to legally immigrate to the country and actually hold their hands up and take the solemn vow of, to the citizenship ring, and cool beans, but I don't think everything should just be 100% grantment, just a free-for-all. I mean, because eventually, America's a big country, don't get me wrong, but mainly our most populated areas are the coastlines, and you can only have so many people building up on a coast, then you run out of room, right? So, yeah, they try to do everything in the sneaker ways about, because even Canada, you don't have automatic birthright citizenship. You still, I mean, you can get dual citizenship, but you still got to apply for it. It's not just automatically, here you go, here's your, so I don't know why everybody's so objective for America to enforce, our citizenship rules and how we want it to progress and prolong over time. But I know, I mean, because I know it's weird to me, and you kind of got to really watch what you're saying, because some people, they take everything offensively. They're like, "Wow, did you hear what he said?" Yeah, I said it, and I asked your opinion on it. So instead of being offended by it, give me your opinion, give me your thoughts. Chime into the conversation and not just be offended, right? Because you don't fix problems by always being offended by something. It's adults, we talk things out. We try to figure it out logically. I think we should do that as societies. We should need to start talking things out and putting it pen to paper, dots and I's and all that. Right? I mean, it's because the original law, though, they originally writ it was you couldn't have any ties to a foreign power to get citizenship. So, if you're an illegal immigrant or an immigrant, technically your child still pertains to that original country because you're not an actual citizen. So, I think we should go by original writings of Congress when they wrote the law instead of just free for all. But we will find out in the decision in the U.S. Supreme Court when they make their final decision. I just figured it'd be a kind of fun topic to talk about, get people's opinions on the matter, but what do you do? I mean, I had a whole bunch of people like this, boop, they all popped up real quick, but apparently they don't have an opinion on the matter because they don't want to discuss anything. It's funny how that works, but, which, I don't know. I think the odd one is those, is like I keep pushing, my videos are not for children. Man, I get a lot of kids show up in the chat, so there has to be a way around. I mean, not kids should learn too. I mean, they're sponges, and they should know how the real world works. And I try to watch my language, and so it's not so. And sometimes I forget, and I say some off the wall shitterbittery, but I try to keep it mainly politically correct on most parts, and so I don't get my channel in trouble. But I can't promise I'm always going to be politically correct because there's sometimes, and like that guy the other day, oh man, he just set me off, and he just would not stop, and then he caused me to curse at him, and that was horrible. I mean, I lost my temper at him for a minute, and then I had to regain my whatever the hell the word is, my composure. My composure had to recompose myself because, So I think sometimes people come on and, I don't know, it was about a week ago. I can't remember who the guy was, but he was just being silly nilly. But and sometimes I think a lot of people they just show up just to to get your goat. You guy yesterday, can you fart for me? No, I'm not gonna fart for you on my live stream. You silly. I mean, who would ask such a weird question in the first place? I mean, right, they do. I mean, you just watch the chat. I mean, not that I haven't had a gassy moment while I was on my live stream, but it's just kind of weird. Somebody come on and say, "Will you fart for me?" No, you're not my doctor. You even give me a colonoscopy, and I don't feel like doing it. Just what the hell? But people are funny. That's where I'm at. That people are funny, man. They just you never know what they're gonna say or do, and so it's kind of like I had some random person message me, made a comment about my other friend that has a YouTube, and he's like, "Why would you follow him?" Because I think the guy's cool, and it's just how I feel. I didn't know that I had to get permission from everybody in the world to follow somebody else's YouTube. If you don't like him, that's your person, that's your problem, not mine. It's weird to me that. I mean, and why would you comment on my YouTube? Why don't you go and comment on his YouTube? If you got an issue with him, go talk it out with him. Don't third party my ass into it. I'm not gonna play telephone with you. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, did you hear what Sammy said about Jordy? Oh my God, do I look like a teenage girl? Come on, Don't answer that because it might come out wrong and offensively. I'm just telling you because we all know that I'm not pretty, so. That's just what it is, Yeah, right. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, it was. I mean, to me, it was kind of humorous that I had to choose my words wisely about what I wanted to say to the guy because I was about ready to just tell him to go F off, But I figured I'd do it more politically correct way about not being rude to the guy, but. It was funny. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta go yell at goats. Hey, get up here! Come on! Get up here! Get off the damn road, you dumbasses! Get up here in the yard. This is driving me nuts today. Get up here in the yard. Oh, stupid goats. They keep getting closer and closer. They know they're not supposed to be by the road. Yeah, you dingleberries. Yeah, shut up. But I got them free ranging on the property right now, just going wherever they want. And they know they're not supposed to be on the road, but they keep, for some reason today, they just keep inching closer and closer up the driveway. My neighbors have, yeah, they're goats. I got some videos of the goats on my shorts, but they, my neighbors drive like Mario Andretti some days past the house, and I don't want one of my goats hit, because then I'd be, yeah, they're like toddlers. They just, you give them that inch and they'll just keep on dragging until you get on them about it. But you know, and normally they're pretty good. They just stay in the main yards, you know. But today they're full of P&B and just being bad goats. So, oh, what do you do? Well, I'm hoping my son comes on later with me on a live stream. I think I figured out how to do it where I can do it with my phone, so I don't have to use StreamYard or Discord or anything like that. I think I figured it out, so I can bring him on so we can have a later show today. Right now he's kind of busy, but I kind of like to get him on here and discuss about his motorized bicycle that he's building, because I think it'd be fun for people, because he likes to build cool stuff. He likes to leave a lot of piles of junk, you know, everywhere, but it's all right. So, oh, I don't think my birthright citizen conversation went anywhere to get anybody to join in on that one. That's all right. I'm okay with it. You know, as long I always find, and I'm learning this about like headlines. So your headline, that you got to really kind of have a headline where it intrigues people to actually want to come and, you know, and interject in the conversation or watch your show. But so I'm still kind of mad about the moon. I mean, launch the rocket already. Quit talking on the news and just getting your, you know, get in there, strap down, and fire away. You know, I mean, I think we could have all that physical conversation when you're up in the spaceship heading for the moon, you know, and then you know, we're making progress. You're costing us money. Do it to it already. Come on now. But I am excited about seeing the dark side of the moon, though. I am excited about that, and you know, a lot of people probably aren't, but you know, and it's not really even making history anymore. It's just recycling, doing something we've already done. But it's still fun that, you know, that we're actually going back into space and, you know, trying to venture further and further away from our planet, you know, and actually being able eventually in time to explore the other planets. I mean, Mercury and Venus we'll never be able to go to because they're way too hot. But, you know, Mars and Neptune and Uranus, and even the fake planet Pluto, because apparently Pluto's no longer a planet, which kind of makes me mad, you know, because apparently it's too small to be a planet, you know. I mean, yes and no. NASA has way more funding than SpaceX. SpaceX is just advancing more in modern day technology, and NASA just keeps recycling old technology instead of. It was like when Obama got rid of our space shuttle program because it was expensive to launch our big shuttles. But you know, it kind of looked like this. You know, why don't we build a moon base and build space shuttles on the moon where we can launch them off the moon, and then we don't have to continue on sending thousands of rockets up into the upper atmosphere. There has to be a better way of doing it. You know, it was like that one billionaire back in 15, 20 years ago. He was trying to build spaceships to go up to space for people, but it was like $1 million a flight, though. So poor people like me were never going to go to outer space on his tour of outer space. But you know, I mean, it would have been fun though. Maybe if I won the lotto, I'd spend $1 million to go to outer space. I'd do it just to say I'm into space. I might need a puke bag and stuff like that because I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle the brain fart here. The force of the G force because you get sick depending on. I guess I'll just pop a few Dramamine, you know what I mean, just so I don't get motion sickness. I guess I just need to open a hospice for children care. That'd be cool. I mean, I had an idea that I was going to open a homeless farm, and you can't call it a homeless farm. So what it barrels down to is you put in you build a couple bunk houses, right, and then you go collect a bunch of homeless people, and then you kind of teach them new traits, and you grow food and vegetables on the farm. That's how they eat, and then you have you allow themselves to detox and all that, and then you get subcontractors where you get like doctors to come in and do medical checks, and educational people where you can help them reestablish themselves into the economy. That way they have an address and a phone number and showers and food. And job relocation. It helps them find jobs, but because once you end up on that point where you're on the streets, it's hard to get off the streets because they make it so hard to get a job after you have nothing else to do. And then you have some of these cities that make it illegal, and then you have a lot of cities that just take all the money that they're supposed to be using to help the homeless population. They just kind of embezzle it and use it for other things instead of what it was meant for. And so then we just waste billions and billions of dollars and still have millions and millions of homeless people. And so nothing ever gets done on the matter. But I think there should be better ways of. That's why I always laugh when people say, "Yeah, we've written common sense laws." There ain't no such thing as a common sense freaking law, not in today's society. Everything's just about how can we steal more money and move it here and use it on this. And it was like I was watching this congressman. She was talking about like the Save Act, and they weren't going to be able to push it because John Fune's a moron. He is a moron. I don't know why we made him the Speaker of the Senate. That guy's a moron, and he goes out of his way not to get anything pushed or voted on, or and figure out how to get it paid for. And so he dances around it, and and I've been a Democrat or not a Democrat. I've been a Republican my whole life, and I respect my party, but every time they get power, it's like they don't ever do a damn thing. John Fune, I don't know what state he's out of. I do, but for some reason not computing. But he's the head of the Senate right now. It's just he doesn't seem to want to get anything done. He just, he's just dancing around bills because Congress already passed it. Congress had already found a way to finance it, and they just need the Senate to pass it as an actual law so it can go back to Congress and go to the president's desk and, and be done. I mean, I don't know. There's so much political theater going on right now. It's just getting nauseating to the point where we should just fire them all and hire all new senators and congressmen that actually want to do their job and not just worried about party lines and all that. Because it's getting ridiculous. Hello, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So, somewhere in traffic, often basically beat it down along, use time as tools. I mean, that's point blank. I mean, I miss the old Democrats and the old Republicans. Yeah, they had pissing matches, but they managed to get stuff done. And these modern day extremists, extreme rightists, and extreme leftists, they don't do a damn thing for anybody. They just hoot and holler and cry and whine and rip off the American taxpayers, and then they go on vacation. They're like, oh well, we're working on it. We're doing the best for you. And no, you're not. You're political theater, bunch of namby-pamby weenie butts, and all it does is cause And the funny thing to me is like we people, we the voters, for some reason, we take it offensively. Like now we want to fight each other. We're like, raw, I hate you, you're a Democrat. Raw, I hate you, you're a Republican. Well, maybe if we people got together and flick those dumbass congressmen and senators in the nose, maybe they would, give them, hey, do your job, dummies. Maybe we wouldn't have such an aggressive moments between each other, but I don't see that happening. We had the Great Divide, and we're pretty much split for a while. We're going through a divorce, and nobody likes each other. we're going through a custodial battle. That's what I was watching the show yesterday, or no, I was reading. It was a comment on somebody else's Facebook, and it goes like, "We need to do a purge against the Republicans." Well, good luck to you. I mean, every Republican has a pew pew, and they train on a regular basis with their pew pews, and 75% of your party is mentally crazy and hides from fireworks. But all right, I mean, it humors me all the way around. It's just you got these people that they're so in doubt they want war, but they're so against war. So how are you going to fight a war if you can't stomach the little battle, the little proxy war we are in Iran right now without crying about it? And what they keep forgetting is right now the military is on the Republican side, and so you as a civilian base and you brought up arms against the country, we're going to put the military against you. So you're not fighting us, you're fighting our military. And we got jets and rockets and bombs and things, and tanks and rocket launchers, and so you're not fighting the citizenry. You're going to be fighting the United States military. So, and those guys do a pretty good badass job about playing war. That's what they're trained to do. And you blue hair freaks and your emotional abilities or depressional abilities, whatnot. What are you going to do? Throw dildos and paper signs at him? You're a bad soldier. You're bad. I'm going to hit you with my dilly dough and boop, 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 pow, pow. It's nunchucks. I tied a string to him like, wow. It's kind of like everybody's busting the president's ass because he's telling our allies, if you don't show up, screw you. We don't need you. And now everybody's like, you can't tell. Yeah, you can. If your allies are not loyal, piss on them. That's the way I look. I mean, you should have loyal friends because when they call us, we go. When we call them, they're like, oh, well, I have a headache. They're like a bad ex-girlfriend. They always have a headache. They can't ever just show up and join and do their job that they're supposed to do, right? Oh, man, we got some cool weapons. We can't talk about. We got some cool weapons, and we spent a lot of money on cool stuff, just to keep us on the top. But oh, much is okay. It's okay. I mean, you know, I need to figure out how to get further into the algorithms. Like peak up to like 1,000 views in one show. That'd be cool as hell. Well, what's up with the rest of the day? I don't know yet. I haven't thought that far ahead. And I gotta think of what I'm gonna have for dinner. It's Wednesday. What sounds good for? Maybe I'll just do burgers. Just do bagel bacon burgers for dinner. That sounds good. I got bagels, and I got burgers, and I got loads of bacon. I can give myself a cardiac arrest and just feel fat for the rest of the day. Oh, and I got some jalapeno poppers and some onion rings. Just got to clean up the air fryer. I don't feel like extremely greasy today. I'm already fat. I don't need to clog my arteries anymore than they probably already clogged. No, I don't need a stent. I don't need a couple stents before I'm 50. Just to keep the arteries cleaned out. Get the old rotor-rooter in there and suck out all my arteries. That's kind of the main reason I quit smoking in the first place, to allow my body to get better. That was trippy. I think I told that story once why I quit smoking because I was walking across the property and man, the freaking lights went out and I was like, I couldn't freaking breathe. And at that moment, I'm like, screw this shit. This shit's killing me. You know. But, hey, sometimes you got to see the light before you know. How long have you been in smokes? I quit smoking a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I mean, I've had a couple in between, like when I've gone drinking with people, you know, and you get that craving on, man, that smells really good, and then you smoke it, and then you're like, oh, this sucks. Why'd I do that? You know, but yeah, shit, I smoked for almost 30 years, so I did a lot of damage to my lungs, you know. But I can run again. Well, I can fat guy trot. I don't know if you can call that a run. It's kind of more like without getting winded. So you know, I'm slowly getting back to life again, I guess. But yeah, I kind. Do you remember the Goonies, the truffle shuffle? That's kind of what I look like when I run. I kind of look like I'm just doing the truffle shuffle. You know, I let my mass just kind of push me down the road. You know, just get that fat gel just whoa, you know. Man, I need to get me some roller skates and I'll just jiggle that. I'll just slap myself in the ass and my belly go, you know, and then, I'll be like turbo on roller skates. I wonder if that would work. Nah, probably not, but not the smokes. I remember the. I mean, I like smoking. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love smoking. Smoking, especially traveling, man, I love it. It's just. But I mean, I was bad though. I was smoking 2 or 3 packs a day, just without even thinking about it. You know what I mean? About every 10 minutes, I'd light a cigarette, and I know my ex fiance. She's like, you know, you're like perfectly timed. About every 10, 15 minutes, you light up another cigarette. I'm like, and you know, you don't even think about it. I mean, it just your brain just sets to, you know, that's just learned behavior about what you do, right? So that's about 2 or 3 packs a day. I was smoking. I could smoke 4 or 5 when I was drinking. Because, you know, when you're drinking, like, you don't give a shit. Everything feels good. And you're just sitting out back, having some whiskey, having a couple beers, and just sucking down those cigarettes faster. You know, but I mean, I chew now. But I'm thinking about quitting chewing too. So, man, today pooping off the Charlie Kirk's neck. Before you ban, I thought some county. I mean, you're entitled to whatever you say. I mean, you know, the only thing they're trying to do with Tyler Robinson right now, they're trying to keep him from the death penalty because Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I mean, we're not going to get into the whole semantics about it, but if you've ever reloaded ammunition, reloads really matters about the age of the powder, the moisture content, and all that. And they were 30-year-old rounds that his grandpa had reloaded, and the science fits to it. Hey Yuki, welcome back. But I know I was watching a lot of these YouTubers after Charlie Kirk died, and they were going out with modern ammunition, you know, and they were shooting cows' necks. Well, you're not actually doing a proper test because you didn't weigh the bullet itself. You don't know what the powder moisture of it is, the contents and all that. You know, and you don't know what kind of powder they use. They could have used a subpar powder back in the 80s or 90s that wasn't worth a damn, right? And so there's a lot of key points to the ammunition that they totally like what didn't even go by. They completely yes, I can take a modern round and blow the hell and split a cow bone in half and shatter it everywhere. But I'm not using the ammunition that Tyler Robinson used. So I mean, and he kind of admitted to doing it. I mean, when all key fact evidence points to him doing it, I mean, it's kind of a hung jury, but they're just trying to keep like that Luigi Mangiani guy, you know, that shop that insurance or healthcare CEO. He's guilty as hell. The only thing they're trying to do is save him from getting the death penalty. That's it. But we know they're guilty. That we know they did it. But for some reason, everybody's faulting on this whole conspiracy theory that the Jews did it, or it was the Russians, or it was the frickin' space aliens. It's like, come on, man, you overthinking this. I mean, sometimes you just have crazy people that do crazy things. It just, and you put bad people in prison. There's not always a big hype conspiracy. I mean, the world's governments are trying. It humors me that so many people get stuck on the conspiracy of everything. It's just, what the hell? Oh, but you had, I'm not going to say names, but when your best friend goes out there and causing more effect than good, and trying to make money off your death, you are not a good person. When you're deliberately trying to get his killer off by making a unsubstantial freaking conspiracy, you're not a good person. I don't care. And I think the widow should sue you for every freaking penny that you're worth, because to me, that's disgusting. I mean, yeah, if I died tomorrow, I'd expect my friends to come up with a badass story of how I died, especially if I died stupidly, just kind of come up with a hell of a good story to, kind of make me look good. But don't come up with a story, some stupid ass lie, and and try to get, no. I mean, even like when I broke my neck. I mean, I fell into a pool when I broke my neck. I fell off a ladder into a pool, and I destroyed 2 vertebrae, and I got a permanent frickin' Viagra neck. But I've come up with some pretty funny stories of how I broke my neck to people, because people used to ask me all the time after I first did it, and so. And falling into a pool, I mean, that's not really that funny. That's like, oops, you drunk, but I told this one gal, I was like, yeah, I was thinking about you, and I slipped, and I hit myself so hard. I just, you got to find, I mean, if you get hurt, you got to find the humor in it. I mean, it's the best way to heal is humor. Humor makes you feel better, but, no, I mean, that guy. Oh, that's another thing. I mean, when you just proved what kind of disgusting human being you are when you're trying to find humor in the assassination of another human being. I mean, that does not make you a good person. I mean, you're literally just, it's not right. I mean, even, you can only take a joke so far, and it's been almost 6 months. I mean, come up with some better material, I guess. But I got my head split open because of a piggyback ride. Right? You gotta watch what you're doing. I know when I was about 13 or 14, my buddy had a 2-story house, and she had a swimming pool. And so we were all running off the roof and jumping in the swimming pool. Oh, and I slipped. I ended up in the bushes. I fell 2 stories down in the bushes, and thank God it broke my fall. I mean, I got kind of tore up a little bit. I didn't get seriously hurt, but I was still young, and I could still bounce back in those days, So, but the older you get, the less you're bounceable. You just kind of, you're in thud mode. It hurts now when you hit the ground. Your body don't get, when you're younger, you're like spring loaded and have the ability to get back up running. When you're old and you hit the ground, you're just like, oh, call an ambulance, I'm broken. It's just, it's trying to rain again. Clouds are kind of high though. If they drop a little bit, they might spew some more rain, but it's kind of nice though. It's warmed up. I mean, so it's not as chilly as it was when I first woke up this morning. But I know I wish Mother Nature would make up her mind if we're going to get warm or cold, and so I could dress appropriately too. This young gal, she was at the grocery store, and I was thinking to myself, man, I wish I was young again and warm-blooded. I got to run and have a good evening. Okay. All right, Eric, it's always good to see you. Yeah, if my son comes on later with me, I'll be on later when he gets a free minute because I like to, because it is his day off, and he did tell me he might come on with me today. So it's always, the first time you come on live, it's kind of nerve wracking, because people are watching you, you know, you get a little stage fright. You get over it though after you do a few videos. You don't really worry about who's watching and who's making fun of you. You just kind of laugh it off. But I'll see you either later today or tomorrow, my friend. Always good to see you. So, so back to my original conversation though, because I got sidetracked. But birthright citizenship. What do you guys think about birthright citizenship? You agree with it? You disagree with it? What's your opinion on the matter? I mean, that's kind of where the subject started based on. Then, Grumpy, he got his brain and got one sidetracked on the original conversation. But I was nervous my first time. I got more used to it. I mean, my friend's show that I started on, I think our first show I did with her, we hit 75,000 views, so I had 75,000 people see me. But, and then my final show I did with her, we peaked at almost 200,000. So here I'm getting about 150 a day, so but I'm new, I'm growing. I mean, so it's not like I'm really too worried about it. I mean, I'm getting viewers. So, I mean, she's been doing it a hell of a lot longer than I've been doing it. I mean, this is my 5th week, so I think I'm in good progress, She's been doing it for like 5 years, so. Yeah. Just in your audience base and who actually wants to come, and I think women should have their choice. On birthright citizenship, or are you talking about like the A word? Because we're not even close to talking about abortion. We're talking about birthright citizenship, where if you immigrant to another country, should your child automatically have the right of citizenship, which no other country allows it, but here they kind of secute it to where, and a lot of places they give you a dual citizenship for the child, which the child can apply for later, but the parents don't automatically get the free ride because you fell out on somebody else's property. I mean, because if you think about it, I mean, just think about it like this though. I mean, just think if somebody had a baby on your property, and go like, "Oh, I own half your house now." That's just, that's just weird. But no, I don't know. We're gonna find out how the U.S. Supreme Court rules on it. I'm hoping for them putting a more of a higher stipulation on it instead of just free nilly. But that's just my personal opinion on it. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion on the matter, but so we shall see how things go. I got these weird hydro packs that they're kind of weird. They taste good though. But I guess I can only drink so much coffee and Monster to get all jittery and jattery all day. I'm trying to drink more water. I like water. But I know my friend, she was like, I don't like water. It has a weird taste. I'm like, what kind of water are you drinking? Most of the water I drink is it's just wet. I mean, does wet really have a taste? No. Well, I guess some water those they put salts in, so it makes you more thirstier, so you want to drink more water, so you retain, because you can wash away salts in your body, which if you drink too much water, then I'm laying on the floor because I just better right now. I'm laying on the floor because it's just I miss laying on the floor. I got a bad back. I can't lay on flat surfaces anymore. I got to have a little bit of cushion. Yeah. I think you're a lot younger than I am, though, Yuki. So it's okay. But, back to my story about the young gal at the grocery store, though. She was wearing these little tiny shorts and this little half shirt. I was thinking to myself, God, man, how great it would be to be young and warm-blooded again. Just, you don't get cold anymore. And I used to make fun of it when I was younger, because man, I could sweat when it's negative 30 degrees outside when I was younger. And I was always watching these people, they got their big jackets on, they're like, oh, it's cold. And I'm like, man, I'm sweating to death, and And now that, I'm almost 45, your body goes weird, man. It changes drastically, I agree with your friend Warner. Got, it just, but, oh, it's weird to me how life changes like that. And, your body doesn't acclimate like it used to temperatures, so you got to kind of put on more layers, take more layers off. Maybe I'm menopausal and I don't know it. Do men go through menopause? Am I going through menopause? I'm menopausal. Maybe. I don't know. That'd be weird, right? Oh, no more cafe. The cafe is gone. That's sad. Get my hydro light water here. It's watermelon, strawberry watermelon, right? I'm menopausal. It's my time of the year. Oh my 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 ex brother-in-law. He always humored me. And they always make the joke about how when men get sick, they're this weak weenie. And I've never been that way. When I'm sick, I don't care. It doesn't slow me down at all. But oh man, he'd get a little sniffle, and he would be like, "I'm dying. Take care of me." Ooh. And it was so freaking. It was funnier than hell. He fit right into that criteria of weak sissy pansy men. It was like, man, come on, Oh, it was funny, but I'm kind of like my dad though. I mean, shit, my dad never took a sick day. He would be dying. He'd go to work. They try to send him home. He's like, I gotta work. I'm not fucking going home. I'm not dying, But I'm going to work hurt, broke, and sick, and you know, probably should have stayed home and healed and rest and got better. But that's not the man way. The man way is you do it to it, and if you're not dead, you don't need to go to the hospital. I mean, to go to the hospital, you're dead, and they put a little toe tag on you, and they write the time of death. That's when you go to the hospital. I'm not saying it. If you're injured or sick, go to the hospital. Don't listen to Grumpy. Grumpy's just trying to have a joke. Don't take Grumpy seriously on that one. But sometimes you got to watch what you say because people take you literally, and not everything's a serious nature. Don't take everything personally. No. It was just my humorous opinion, not an actual fact. I know my daughter gets on me about that all the time because I mean I will say facts and and I will prove my facts and my statements, and sometimes it's just I go off just my opinion base, and I allow people do their own research and figure out their own their own criteria, their own way, but sometimes I will say stuff that is factual. If you want to fact check me, you can go ahead. I'm all for people learning, because power is knowledge or not. I'm sorry, I screwed that one up. Knowledge is power, and you got to have knowledge or you're just a dink. And don't be a dink, because being dinky your whole life doesn't really get you anywhere. I mean, hell, I'm learning new things every day. Things that I had no idea. But the world's evolving. You kind of gotta, That's kind of like everybody's like, oh, AI is going to take our jobs. No, they're not taking your jobs. You just need to invest in doing a new job, something that pays more, Where one job ends, another 50 jobs begin. You just got to want to keep on advancing in life, keep on making the money, so you can holla, 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 make it rain, 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 Well, something like that. I know. Well, it's kind of like right now. I mean, things are a little tough financially right now for a lot of people, and I'm not struggling, I mean, because I set myself up to where no matter how the economy sits or how people roll, I don't suffer. I got my gardens and I got my animals, so I don't, no matter what. And everything's physically paid off, and so I don't have any financial debts. I'm pretty much just living life graciously. But I mean, and I understand that there's a lot of people struggling, but you know, you've had years of visual identity how the economy was going to kind of start streaking. You should have prepared for it. There's been warning signs. There's been talks about you should prepare. But I think that's humans do not do good in a crisis. They do not. They'll wait till the last minute and say, "Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't prepared." It was like we had that big hurricane back in the early 2000s, and they had like a 3-week warning that this huge hurricane was coming, right? And through Georgia and Florida and all that, it was going to come through the panhandle and cause a lot of damage. And then everybody was like, we didn't know. Man, it was all over the radio, the TV, the YouTubes. I mean, freaking Facebook. I mean, everybody know. It was in the newspapers. Prepare, evacuate. That there's a storm coming, and it's coming. And if you stay, you're not going to be rescued right away. But and you get all these people staying. They're like, and they were getting mad at the government for not rescuing them. They told you they weren't going to be able to come right away. That you were pretty much SOL. So I mean, you kind of you made your own personal decision to stay. I mean, yeah, and I understand some people don't have the financial gains to just get in a car and take off willy nilly. But there was shelters that you could have went to. Safety zones that were designed for safe areas. But you chose to ride the storm out in your home, and so you can't blame anybody for yourself. Sometimes when you do something dumb, you got to take personal responsibility. I mean, just really to the facts of it, But some people lack that in life, the ability to take personal responsibilities for their actions. No. I'll admit it. If I've done something stupid, I'll admit I've done something stupid. If I've wronged somebody, I'll admit that I've wronged somebody. I mean, it's easier to say I'm wrong and sorry than sit there going, I didn't do a damn thing. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. 'Cause that doesn't really solve any issue. That doesn't really solve the conflict. But it's like our president, and I love my president. I think he's a funny SOB. But there's sometimes in life, if he kept his mouth shut, we'd be a little bit further ahead in the party. He just like, stop it. You don't have to speak every day, and you don't have to tell things there. I mean, just kind of mute it, and just kind of allow progress to work, and but he does like to showboat some days, and he likes to brag. And it's like sometimes you just gotta let things be and button your lip. But, oh, I mean, we need to see growth progress. We need to see a stable 1-year growth progress so we can continue on and but we need more than just the president to do his job. We need all the congressmen, all the senators, all the governors, all the state representatives, all the city representatives. Everybody needs to get on board and assist in the growth of the nation. We can't always put all of our eggs in the basket over one man. We gotta stop doing it, because one man's not going to solve all of our problems. We can't blame one man for all of our problems, because our problems were there before he ever came in office. I just find it humorous that everybody attacks one man, and put all their faith in one man. I mean, he's not God. He's the president. He can only do so much. We got a big government to help out in things that the one man can't do by himself. I mean, they're supposed to be a big team, you know. There's no I in team, and you got a lot of elected officials that are pushing this I BS game instead of, you know, actually doing their job. So it's like my favorite person, Jasmine Crockett, down there in Texas. She was an I person. Everyone's like, oh, what she did? What'd she do? You can't show me any good things that she did. I mean, yeah, she was a fantastic lawyer, and she did a lot of community things before she became a congressman. But after she became a congressman, she pretty much just pooped y'all down the road and forgot about all you, you know. And so I'm not impressed. Give me something to be impressed about. Actually, show me what you've actually advanced in your district to help your district out. When your district is worse now than it was when before you took office. So you're not doing your job, you know. And I say the same thing about a lot of Republicans too. It's like, you know, you were sent to Washington to help build your district, to help your, you know, to make your district better. If all you've done is made your pockets bigger, you know, bulged out your pockets full of more money, you're not doing your job. You know, it's just, I don't know. Once I get better Wi-Fi, I'm going to put channel on my snap. I can aid your channel. Nice. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, I gotta get me a new laptop. That way I can start playing videos. I'm trying to figure out, so I have my iPhone tablet, right? And I know I can hook it up to my smart TV. I'm still got to figure this out, but I know I can hook it to my smart TV, and I should be able to play videos from my tablet and my smart TV, and I can just use my phone as just the camera, so we can have a conversation. But then I should be able to split screen it and use everything at once. But I'm not technologically smart. I'm not computer literate. I'll figure it out. I mean, I'll watch some YouTubes, and I'm sure somebody out there smarter than I am has figured it out. I mean, I got the manual. I could read, but reading gross. Bleh, I hate reading. Well, I mean, I won't say it because I mean I read all the time. But is a smart TV YouTube? Yeah, I mean I have YouTube on my TV, and I should be able to. And I can connect my wireless mouse and keyboard to my TV. But I'll just be using my iPhone tablet as the go through. So because there's certain, because I'm gonna figure it out. So, but then you wouldn't be on a little 6-inch telephone. You'd be on a 65-inch TV, and man, the letters would be like 9 inches tall. I could read everything. So it'd be so much cooler instead of being like, what the hell is they saying? You know, because I have no idea for the life of me what I did with my eyeballs. It's driving me nuts. I had them. I was wearing them. I took them off. I set them down. And they disappeared. Now I don't know where they could be. I never watch it. I have it. I never use it. I mean, I don't really watch it. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of news and stuff on YouTube. I don't really watch regular TV anymore. I mean, I got satellite. I mean, I can watch channels in every country and all over the world and in different languages and things. I used to love TV. I love TV way too much. And so I've kind of got away from watching too much TV over the years. I know. Because I couldn't sleep without a TV on, and I know it used to drive a lot of my exes nuts because I'd have to have that background noise. And it was more the light reflection. I had to have some kind of light coming at me, and everybody's like, "Why don't you just listen to radio?" Because it's not the same. Radio and TV are not the same, you know. So I know my last ex-wife, she liked to listen to rain. She liked to listen to storm videos to go to sleep. And you know, it's like trying to sleep when you got thunderstorms and rain, and you know, it's like your mind's going crazy. You're like, man, I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know, is the world coming to an end or whatnot? It's like, man, you gotta have some scary dreams when they're listening to storm videos, you know. And I don't recommend it at all. No, siree, boo. No, don't do it. Don't don't listen to the storms while you're trying to sleep. It'll mess with your brain. But you know, I used to love to watch cartoons when I went to bed, you know, because then you get some animated dreams, you know. It'd make your mind kind of wander. Of course, I used to watch a lot of war flicks too when I sleep, so that give you some interesting dreams. But oh, my brain wanders at night, and if I don't have that background noise, then I can't sleep, and then I'm up all night long, and then I get insomnia and insomnia. My dyslexia, you can work for me here. Insomnia, and yeah, poop on it. You know what word I'm trying to go on with. Hey, hold on, it'll come to me, and I'll say it correctly once. Yeah, where you can't sleep all night, and you're up all night long, and then all day the next day, and the next day after that. Insomnia. No, screw it. You gotta love dyslexia when you know the word, but your brain, you can see it in the brain, but the mouth will not work with the brain, and it's like foot and mouth, and then you feel dumb, and it's like, what the hell? That happens to me a lot lately. Yeah. I got this cherry juice that I got, but it made me look like I was wearing lipstick. So yeah, thank you. You know the word I was talking about, and my brain just won't allow me to say it right now. I'll be able to say it, and as soon as I stop the live feed, my brain will be like, yeah, you can say it now. It's the dangest thing. Yeah, you know, and your brain won't let you speak. It's like, are you serious? My buddy hasn't responded to the live stream question from either. That'd be fun. Oh, I know I got a few friends at YouTube. I guess they're more of acquaintances because we're not really buddy buddy, but you know, I think we're friends, but we're more of acquaintances, and they have YouTubes, and I like to go watch their YouTubes. You know, get some. I don't want to do the same thing. I don't want to talk about the same things they talk about. You know, and I don't want to copy their streams or anything like that. But I watch it to get inspiration on things. You know, sometimes I find humorous jokes and things. You know, from the chats of people. And, you know, they give me things to talk about, but I don't want to copy their exact YouTube because I don't want to. You know, that's not cool. I want to do my own thing, but I do find it helpful when you. So I'll watch some Democratic streams too, just to get something to be grumpy about. Listen to those people just drive me nuts. Just drive me absolutely bunker dunkers. I was watching this young gal, and man, I don't know where her head was, but I think it was up her butt. Everything she was saying was wrong. It's like, I mean, I get you have an opinion, but at least have some kind of facts behind the opinion. To don't just go on this whole hate filled. And a lot of these Democrat people, their whole message is hate filled. There's no actual real, they have no fix. They don't have no damn it. They haven't strategized how to actually fix the issue. Their whole thing is get rid of the president because that's going to fix all their problems. Get rid of the president. Get rid of the president. Get rid of the president. Well, that doesn't change the problem at hand. That's just your opinion on you don't like. I don't care if you like president. Tell me how you're going to fix the problem. How can you make it better? Tell me that. They can't. They don't have any fix all. They don't. They have no solution to. There we go. The solution. They have no solutions to it and how to fix it. They just beep, 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 just their hate-filled message about everything, to me, that makes you sound like a silly Billy. I mean, yeah, I go on rants and rains, and but I don't have I mean, I say stuff about Republicans and Democrats. I'm not, and I've been a Republican my whole life, but at least I can call out my own party for being dumb. Those people refuse to say anything bad about something their party is. And it's like, I have to ride the bus in like 3 minutes. I'm suffering. I'm sorry, Yuki. Safe travels on the bus, though. You know, I mean, we don't have no bus out here, so if I ain't got a car, I got a walkie. I'm 9 miles. I'm 9 miles to the little town I live by, and 45 miles to the nearest big city. So I'd be thumbing it. I'd be like, "Can I get a ride?" Just to so out here in God's land, you kind of you need a car or a dog team or a horse or a big old milk cow to ride in town. Because if not, you're Jesus feeding it. But well, that's kind of how that works in life. Yeah, my ex-boyfriend added me on Snapchat and he chatted you. I don't like exes. I have nothing bad against them to say, but I have very disdain about people that cheat in relationships. Like, if you're going to cheat, break up. And I think that's the COWARD way out of the situation. I mean, just be honest about it, that you're not happy, and then go away. Don't drag somebody else into the mix of the issues, because that normally causes. I mean, jealousy tends to cause a lot of issues with people. And why bring a third party into the mix? Instead of just end things and then go be especially married people. I mean, if you're not happy in your marriage, and then what I always love about the people that cheat, for some reason they always blame you because they cheated. Well, how's it my fault that you couldn't stop your? Oh, it's what would you? He just tripped out and oops, we had coitus. Come on now, that's the stupidest excuse I ever heard when people saying, "Oh, I don't know how it happened." But yeah, you know exactly how it happened. You allowed it to happen. You know. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a horrible flirt. Even when I'm in a relationship, I'll flirt nonchalantly and not meaning to flirt with somebody. It's just kind of casual conversation, and it ends up going to a flirtination. But I don't ever go any further, than just a hi, how you doing, kind of thing. But people, man, they just have no self-respect, and he can't tell me that to add him back. Yeah, block. that's what I do. I just block his ass. You know. So I've had to block a few exes in the past because you know, or I've done the righteous thing and I've pissed them off to the point where I've told them just to kick rocks, and so they block me, so I don't ever have to deal with them again because you know. If it comes to that point where the friendship's done, the relationship's done, man, I'm all about peace of mind. I will burn that bridge so you never want to come back because I never want to see you again. Because at this point, I've lost all faith in you, and you ain't ever getting that back. No, sirree, Bobo. I'm not giving you another ounce of my time of life. I'll cherish the moments and I'll cherish the time we had together, but other than that, our time is past. It is done. Because it's the only way to do it. You got to take your power back, got to get your energy back, and say, no more. Not today, Satan, not today. But, what do you do? Well, I should probably go eat some lunch. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. My belly's grumbling. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me, Seymour. So I'll probably go eat some lunch. I gotta eat though. I'll find something. I got a freezer full. I'll cook something up. Or I can just make some Chinese noodles or something like that. Yeah, the little demons surrounding. Yeah. Some days I always picture that little angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, and they're sitting there. Some days I try not to let the little devil win because he gives bad advice, and when he starts chitter-chatting, I'm like, I don't like jail food, so I'm not going to jail today. So all this the old angel guy. And He's never stirred me wrong, so it's a win-win on that one. But hey, everybody, I'm gonna go have some lunch. It was great hanging out with you. And like normal, if you can't be happy, well, hell, come here and be grumpy with me. It was all good to hang out with you guys.